Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm getting into a new creator, somebody I don't know. Um, I just simply saw one title. Right away, I'm gonna tell you, you're already spoiled probably because you saw the fucking thumbnail. But if you don't want any more spoilers, then seriously, uh, go watch fucking Daima. Okay. The most unapologetic thing that I could do is just say it's your fault for not watching the show, because honestly it is, because the show's a fucking I'm not gonna say it's a 10 out of 10. Right now it's like an 8 out of 10 for me. But without further ado, we're gonna get into this video. I'm not gonna waste any more fucking time. So subscribe to me, subscribe to this person. I'll show you at the end of the video, and most importantly, subscribe to yourself. Self-love is important, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Obviously, click off if you don't want any more spoilers. I was wrong about Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Here we fucking go. Vegeta fans rise up. W fucking moment. Jesus Christ. Daima's been cooking.
Prepare yourself.
I like the opening. This is what I gotta do for my channel. I need to create
So
a
I
little
was
like opening video.
entirely wrong about not only Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, but also Dragon Ball Daima. And
True.
honestly, Daima has extremely surprised me with how much it's been cooking lately and how much I just
So
needed to
good.
trust the master's process because
Yep.
Majin Ku really threw a
R.I.P. Tori, the GOAT. Listen, argue who you want. Toriyama's always gonna be the GOAT. 100% or your money back.
curveball to us a couple weeks ago, but ever since the appearance of Majin Buu, and now with Vegeta entering the battles with the Tamagamis, this is honestly becoming one of my favorite Dragon Ball properties in existence.
Seriously, if you're sleeping on fucking Daima right now because they became kids, grow the fuck up, literally. Go watch the show. You're seriously, and everything is gonna get spoiled for you because clearly, if you care about Dragon Ball, you probably follow a Dragon Ball creator, so you're gonna get spoiled. 100%.
It is honestly really that good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you haven't watched the latest episode of Dragon Ball Daima, watch that shit now. Watch it now, guys, because
Yeah, because like I mean, obviously, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta being out there is a spoiler, but I mean, the fight after that itself is worth watching. Watch that shit on repeat when I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
it is by far one of the best episodes of the series. And
Oh, it's
honestly,
so good.
I really think that if you are a Vegeta fan, you will be a happy boy today. You will be a happy boy or girl. This is a
Oh man, this is a Vegeta fans episode, baby. Oh my god, dude. Hold on.
Vegeta centric episode, and it is as cool and
Oh, it was
as
good.
awesome for
So good.
Vegeta as I would say
Got my
Ultra
buddy
Ego
watching
Vegeta's
right now.
transformation. And honestly, because Vegeta does get the W here, it is far better than that transformation, and it is insane the level of quality that Dragon Ball Daima consistently brings every single week. So
Yep.
let me know what your thoughts are on the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta transformation and what your favorite and least favorite aspects are to it. But first of all, Dragon Ball Daima, this is a full apology.
So my quick rundown, like early, like quick early thing that I like about the form, it doesn't look exactly like Goku's. Because Goku's obviously he gets like Raditz hair. I mean, that motherfucker goes long and then down his back, right? Where Vegeta's doesn't go down at all. It just goes straight up and out. It's kind of like Beast Gohan, but like way more intense. Because I mean, everyone, even on the backside of his head, it comes out heavy. So I think that in itself was a very good design choice.
for just generally losing interest at some point where I wasn't really caught up to it because it was more of an
Also, I could be wrong, but as far as like canon material goes, I think that's the only time Super Saiyan 3 is caught a dub. Because Boo, Fat Boo, I'm pretty sure he fought Fat Boo to a stalemate. Gotenks did fuck all with fucking Super Saiyan 3. Um, and then Goku used Super Saiyan 3 again against Kid Buu and got the shit beat out of him. And then, or that one might have been a stalemate. I don't quite remember that one that well. Um, and then obviously he used it against Beerus, got his ass beat again. He was in it for like 2 seconds against Kale and Caulifla, which he then powered down because it used too much stamina. So I think
adventure
this is the
story.
only
And
time I
then when
think
I
that we
finally
have
did
a
catch up
Super
to it,
Saiyan
it
3
was selling me on
W in
every single
canon
front. The
material.
story is building up slowly and
Hold on, let me pause again and fucking say that for you goddamn idiots. Canon material, not non-canon material. Talk to me about fucking filler arcs in movies, okay?
nicely. Everything seems to be leading to something evenly. A lot of lore, a lot of really cool character interactions, a lot
So
of
good.
Vegeta acting the way that we see him in Dragon Ball Super, not Dragon Ball Z.
When the
It
dub hits
is
Super
just
Saiyan 3
solid
Vegeta, it's gonna
gold.
be
Dragon Ball
crazy.
Daima, I was absolutely 100% unequivocally wrong about your presence and your game. I was not familiar with it. I did not know how hard
Apology accepted on his behalf. R.I.P. Big Tory.
you would be going this deep into the series. And we do have a little bit of
Oh my
hiatus
god,
next
this
week
little
where they're
scene
taking a
here,
break
so
because I
good.
believe that this is left as a cliffhanger because now we have the stage set where the Z fighters have two Dragon Balls.
I think it's very smart. I think it's very smart to take a break here. It gives you a chance to take in people's opinions and criticize the show, and then you can push forward with that in mind. I think they're honestly, this might be the most effort they've been putting into making Dragon Ball truly up to the standard that it was meant to be than they have in years. Because Super, the anime, not the movies, Super was a fucking dumpster fire. Let's be 100% honest, real. It is like a fucking 4, maybe 5 out of 10 show. The two first arcs you could straight up skip because they're not worth watching, and the moments in those arcs are not good enough to garner me to want to sit through the terrible animation and pacing issues after you just put out two banging ass movies that go over these two arcs that are just better in every aspect. Battle of Gods, I know, is a lot of people's favorite movie. Um, but I'm not gonna rant about it too long. I mean, they did fix it with the two super movies, but if you want me to do a series breakdown, let me know. But yeah, the fucking Dragon Ball Super sucked. The moments were great. The overall show, ass.
And yeah, Dr. Rinzu has won. But before I jump too ahead of myself, both fights in this episode showcased not only pure, unadulterated, and accurate, most of all accurate battle power and battle prowess power levels. Everything was on the level here because every Tamagami is stronger than the last. The closer you get to number one, the stronger they get. That's why Goku in Super Saiyan 2 could easily defeat the first Tamagami. And then we have Majin Ku not being able to even go toe to toe at all with the first one because the first one is
I honestly don't think Majin Buu is all that strong. I think if they would have set it up that they went after the third one with Majin, he would have lost. I honestly think the reason that they brought another Majin into it was due to the fact that Majin Buu is not that strong, but his intellect is next level. Whereas the reason why they brought in Majin Buu for this kind of dual character thing is because Majin Buu is more closer to the Boo that we know. So he uses hacks quite heavily. He's very unorthodox. You can't pin down a fighting style with him, and he is very much the stronger of the two. They could be setting up fusion. They could be setting up a world where a Majin Buu possibly betrays Do, because we already kind of saw a little sneak peek at that possible behavior when he tried to express that he was the one who gave him the assist when getting the Dragon Ball, but what's her face? The demon girl, she was not having it. Completely ignored him. Aritsu or whatever the fuck her name is. Anitsu or whatever her name is. I don't know her name. But yeah. Um there's definitely possibilities on where they could go with this, so I am quite excited really.
the strongest. So the buildup of power, because we're kind of going from the first universe, first demon world, to Goku and Vegeta and the gang. And then from Goku's perspective, we're going from the third demon world all the way to the first demon world. It's honestly all going ahead and about to collide. We are about to get Goku and Vegeta and the gang versus Majin Buu, who I think will inevitably transform in some sense. But Majin Buu, as we've seen here, is clearly stronger than the Tamagami in the
Oh,
first
easily.
demon world,
Oh,
meaning
he's just
that
messing
the
about.
little bit of Buu power that he has, I mean, it is quite a bit, but the bit that he has that created this creature is stronger than this, meaning that if that Tamagami is stronger than the second one, and the second one completely outclassed Super Saiyan 2, but was not as strong as Super Saiyan 3, the power scaling, the accurate power scaling, would mean that the first Tamagami would be a good match for Super Saiyan 3, either Vegeta or Goku, but it would not be a complete blowout like the second Tamagami was against Vegeta. It isn't a complete blowout, so more than likely I would power scale that the Super Saiyan 3 transformation is on the same level, but a little bit stronger than the first Tamagami. But we saw how strong Buu is. He is easily wiping the floor with this guy. He can easily evade him. He doesn't take things too seriously. His power level
I could possibly see a world where a different type of fusion is brought about, and this fusion uses Saiyan 3 on an efficient level of which Goku and Vegeta have not been able to achieve on a single level. I do see a world where that could be a thing. It is interesting to think about. It would be the first time that a fusion that's actually a threat uses Super Saiyan 3. 'Cause obviously, Gotenks had Super Saiyan 3, but it was 100% useless because they're two tots that don't know what the fuck they're doing. So it ended up being a massive waste of time. It looked cool for a little bit, and their powers are pretty unique, but it was still 100% a massive waste of time. But now that we have seen the way that Goku uses Super Saiyan 3, and we have also seen the way that Vegeta uses Super Saiyan 3, because I didn't think Vegeta was going to say anything. He was dead silent the whole time, said not a word, just straight hands. And then right at the end, obviously he puts out the Gallic gun. But yeah, up until that point, he wasn't saying anything. He was 100% zoned in, just honed in on the opponent, didn't care what the hell was going on around him, just straight focus. And that was insane. It was so cool to watch.
levels are strong enough to use Ki Blast that really severely injure this guy. And at the end of the day, it was really cool to see just like that Kid Buu, silly Majin Buu type of escapades that we really don't get in Dragon Ball anymore. And we
And the crazy part is, you got to remember this guy. He's just learning to fight now. He never fought before in his life. He's just now learning how it works, and he's already ridiculous.
didn't really get it until Buu faced off against Moro. But these matches are happening at the exact same time, And we see that Vegeta really needed Super Saiyan 2 to get out of the Kraken's mouth, at least effortlessly, like the way that he did, showing that the transformation, their mini bodies, everything like that, like it all seems extremely realistic. And the power scaling is honestly is what really is sending me here. It's what really is driving me. I love when shows accurately portray power scaling. Dragon Ball Super did not do a good job in that. Dragon Ball Super Broly, in my opinion, did. Dragon Ball Super Superhero did it as well, and then the manga has been keeping up with that accurate power scaling
Mhm.
100%. Dragon Ball Z kind of was all over the place, but Dragon Ball Daima does not suffer from that. Dragon Ball Daima has accurate power scaling, which is something
Well, it's just about giving a shit about the details. I think I can't speak for what goes on overseas during the creative process, but somewhere along that process, details were not considered when making the overall show. There were other details that were accounted for and considered, but there were a lot of times where they're not, and that's where your retcons and all that sort of stuff comes into play. Um, but so far, both the Broly movie, Superhero, the manga, and this new Daima has been insanely strong with both lore and detail-oriented content. That is one thing Dragon Ball has missed for a long time is detail-heavy content. Everybody loves the fight spectacle, but if you don't have a story around it, people are eventually going to lose interest. You know, the fight is what they come for, but the story is why they stay.
that I absolutely enjoy. But once Vegeta realizes that he can't win against this guy in Super Saiyan 2, he's stronger, he goes into Super Saiyan 3, which Super Saiyan 3 on Vegeta looks like Sonic. He is a completely different design than the Super Saiyan 3s that we've seen from Gotenks and from Goku. His hair's not going all the way to his back. He is looking honestly exactly like the original artwork from Akira Toriyama. He looks exactly like that, and I know that's what Toriyama used to reference the Super Saiyan 3 transformation for Vegeta. And Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta completely outclasses the Tamagami, and he fights him without really using his hands. He uses mostly his legs, showing that where that fighting leg movement comes from with Gogeta and Vegito. It comes from the Vegeta side. Vegeta can easily, effortlessly, completely dominate this fight in Super Saiyan 3, and it doesn't really seem like he has any sort of power drain from the Super Saiyan 3 transformation.
I could definitely I definitely hear him when it comes to Vegito. This is a parent in Dragon Ball Z with Super Vegito. This was very much his fighting style. Gogeta, not so much. Gogeta doesn't really use a singular part of his body. He pretty much uses. I would say, if I had to say, he definitely leans more toward Goku in the way that he fights. And yeah, I would definitely say that for sure.
Which is the issue with that transformation. And I do believe that Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is better collecting and accurately using that power inside his body from Super Saiyan 3's transformation than Goku was. Goku was wasting a lot more of that energy. But this is where I am going to explain why I'm saying that I was wrong about Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Because originally I thought two things. Number one, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta was going to be the exact same thing as Super Saiyan 3 Goku, aesthetic wise, the way he moved, his fighting style,
Right.
everything, and that we would never really see it because it's a waste of time, it's a waste of transformation. Vegeta kind of says as much when he's facing off against Trunks that he doesn't really need to go into that transformation, it's outdated, but at that point, he is in Super Saiyan Blue. Well, right now, this couldn't be further from the truth because now we see how Vegeta fights in Super Saiyan 3. He fights like Gogeta, he fights like Vegito. We see that he has a better handle in the whole.
Right. I mean, it's a crash out transformation. You tried one with proper technique. You tried two with a little bit more power, proper technique, and then at that point, you got to call out the stops, and you just got to hit that next level, and you have to push yourself to try to get the win as fast as possible. It's straight up a crash out transformation. I don't know if they're gonna retcon the stamina drain of it. We'll have to find out in the later episodes here, but I think they will keep it. That's something that would be kind of weird to change now. But I do agree. Yeah, I do agree. So far, this video has been.
holding that power and not letting it go to waste. So he is more effortlessly using Super Saiyan 3. And lastly, we see that his design is completely different than Goku's. He's
One more point I'll touch on is that Daima has done a great job at returning the need for forms. 'Cause obviously, once we get back to the Dragon Ball Super anime, um, the need for these forms is going to go away again because we're going to have people like Moro, people like Granola, people like Gas, Black Frieza. I mean, it's gonna get to astronomical levels again. But you need this every once in a while to return that magic to these lower forms. And I think we will get that again at some point. Once we go back to Universe 6 and Planet Sadala and we meet the more of the Saiyans from that universe, I think we will see a return again of something like this, where obviously they won't be shrunk to kids again, at least I hope not. Um, but they will probably return to the importance of knowing about these three forms.
got a unique design that to me is absolutely perfect. It's a mixture of what that original Super Saiyan 3 Goku design was by Toriyama and kind of like Beast Gohan, but not as exaggerated as Beast Gohan. I think that it is a awesome design, a great transformation, my favorite
Oh
moment so
man,
far in Dragon Ball Daima, and I'm so glad
so
that
good.
Vegeta was given this win and that Toriyama gave us a act.
Yeah, one of the things I will always argue is you cannot have a rival to the MC. Like, obviously, the MC will have several rivals, but you can't have a rival constantly taking L's. Then it just seems like he shouldn't be in the conversation. If he can't get a win, then why is he even there? Then it becomes one of those freaking Saitama Genos things. This is why Genos is never brought up in conversations. When you're talking about people who, when you're talking about these shonen anime and they have the protagonist and rival structure, the reason why a lot of them are not brought up into these types of 1v1 battles is because they don't win. Genos never wins. He ends up in more parts than he does W's. Okay? Like every time he's blown apart, like each one of those is a new L that he is now planted into the ground to receive later. Like that's it's literally the Saitama show. Um, but if you're gonna have a Naruto and Sasuke, if you're gonna have a fucking Goku and Vegeta, if you're gonna have uh if you're gonna have a Zoro and I guess they're not really rivals, but um you could say as a second man that if somebody were to become rivals with Luffy, it would be Zoro. Um, like both Sasuke, Zoro, and Vegeta all have to be getting W's because otherwise, why else would they be in the conversation to be able to beat the MC? That's the whole point. Is the potential is there to take a win over the MC, and the other ones have the potential, but they don't have the record. That's what separates the main rival from the other rivals that are in the line looking to take their shot. You got to create a pecking order of importance.
Actual absolute win from Vegeta. I mean, he even got the bonus question right. He is on fire here. And
True.
honestly, Majin Buu was doing great as well. And even at the end, we see that there is there is a brotherhood with Majin Ku, which makes Majin Ku so much better, where he is the one getting him chocolate, taking care of him. He's the one boasting him. He doesn't care that Dr. Orenzu is just talking smack for no reason to him, and he was the one that gave Majin Du
Yeah, that's why I'm curious what's gonna happen because they could take it 2 ways, where, Ku and Du form together and become one being. That would be like the brotherly bond of it, or Ku gets jealous, takes out Du, and ascends to some higher form, and then in turn turning on, the doctor, whatever her name where's the camera? Okay. Her name. Right there.
the answer at the end to get the Dragon Ball. And the last thing that I really loved about this episode, guys, is that finally we get like the actual Demon King and his, I don't know, advisor. We finally get them noticing that Dr. Arinzu was going for the Dragon Ball in
I mean, they've always been suspicious of her, in general. I mean, even from the very, very beginning of the series, she clearly put them and they knew that they really couldn't trust her. But this pretty much confirmed their suspicions. And it was also hilarious to see this literal face and his face when they realized that they're so far behind that they thought they were in control, and then they turns out had no control the entire time, and your two biggest ops now have literally all the cards. You have no cards to play. Like that's it.
this Majin world, in this demon world, and this is something that's cool. I love it when there are separate factions of evildoers that are kind of battling against each other for the same or similar goals. That's always something that I've loved in any animation story. I love when evil villains are fighting against each other, and I actually do like it when heroes are competing against each other. But in this case, we have the heroes united for the most part, besides Glorio, and we have the Dr. Arinzu facing off against Tamagami to try to take those Dragon Balls and try to take the Dragon Balls from Goku as well. And that's something that the Demon King did not see coming at all. And he's got a great line in the episode where he's like, "When have you ever known Dr. Arinzu to do something so kind and selfless for us?" Which she's never done. So honestly, that's something that definitely needs to be investigated more, and I'm glad that we're finally getting like the story built up where it is going to be Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo more than likely versus the Majin Du and Majin Ku tag team, which then we can accurately see how strong Majin Du and Majin Ku actually are. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys.
Subscribe for more content.
W video. That was cool. That was awesome. Um, yeah, overall, I think I think Daima has done an absolute stellar job with this. But more importantly, they've also done an insanely good job at defining what transformation that the characters are in specific moments. You can easily tell when they are in Super Saiyan 2, and you can easily tell when they are in Super Saiyan 1, frame by frame. It's something that the previous series have very much struggled with. Um, yeah, I like this video. I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what I was expecting when I went into it, but hey, that was awesome. I'll definitely subscribe. So make sure you guys also go do what I did. Subscribe to him, give him a like, share his video, all that stuff. And if you're feeling inclined, give this video a subscription or as well. And most importantly, subscribe to yourself. That's going to be the end of this video. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.